This is just so that we can get connected and I can talk some smack and tell people to share it. So it should be popping on here. Hey gang, we're going to be starting in like 3 minutes. So we're just kind of popping on to share the video out. So as you're all jumping in, share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your enemies. I don't care who you share it with. Just share it. Spread the love, baby. It's almost start time. We're going to chat it up with Vanessa. She's a crazy lady. Not really. She's really rad. Chick. I love her.
Well, don't tell them all my
No secrets, though. No secrets. All right, gang. Go ahead and share this out. We're going to be starting in just a few minutes. Here. What are you drinking? Are you drinking coffee, lady?
I am. I'm drinking some coffee.
Nice. All right, so that's shared. What's up, Cheryl? Cheryl's in the chat. Cheryl is always the first person in my chat. I love it.
Hello.
Ma is always up in there. We're going to be starting in just a couple minutes, guys. Go ahead and share this out. Friends, family, loved ones, enemies, sisters, brothers, cousins. I don't care. Share it. Spread the word. We're gonna have some fun this evening and get some girl talk in. I don't really know what girl talk is. I don't girl very well.
We'll wing it.
There we go. I don't grow well at all. All right, let me see here. Got a few people popping.
I have my girly moments.
I get them once in a while. All right, let me go shut my door, and I'm going to throw this intro on, and we're going to get started. So give me one hot second there, guys.
Watch me have weird faces.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, this chair on carpet sucks. My lovely man assistant is out going for a little bike ride, so I had to do things on my own tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. We got like a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, James. Got a couple people chiming in the chat, just saying a quick hello and good evening. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this intro on. Hey, Jackie, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. What's up, gang? Dead Girl here, coming at you on this lovely, lovely Wednesday evening with our friend Vanessa from Bankyart. Now, just real quick for all you boys and girls tuning in, we are currently live on Facebook. This is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel later on. So if you're watching, I'll have links to Bankyart down below in the comment section in the description box, and you guys can go check out her art and buy some stuff. So, Miss Vanessa, how are you this evening?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Now we've got some friends kind of hanging out with us tonight, and for those who are not familiar with you or your artwork, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm a freelance artist here based in Orlando, Florida. I do a lot of pop culture art, from comics to television to movies, as well as when Disney was up and running doing caricatures.
Well, hopefully Disney will be back up and running again soon. I know they've got a start date for July, and I'm hoping that they're able to bring you back in because I absolutely love your work. I think it's fantastic. It's some of my favorite stuff. So yay, fingers crossed.
Yay, thank you.
So now I always tend to ask everybody, and I've had a couple of different artists on, how long have you been drawing? Has this been a thing since you were a kid, or did you just kind of pick this up later on in life? Where did you get started?
So I've been drawing my entire life. I think the moment I should have known that I was going to be an artist is when I was maybe like 5, and my mom was like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower. Now, don't draw on the walls. So I didn't draw on the walls, but I drew all over myself.
Okay.
And that, I thought she was going to be so proud of me and so excited to be like, look, I didn't draw on the walls, but I drew all over me.
And she was like, get in the shower. You're done.
Right? It's just like, oh my God, please don't let it be permanent. But no, it's like I was already thinking outside the box, right? So, like a true artist.
I mean, at least it wasn't permanent. I see it's come off after those years.
Yes. It was just a ballpoint pen. It's fine.
A little soap and water, a little bit of mild scrubbing. It's all good.
Yeah, harmless.
Now, did you do any type of art classes when you were in school or anything? Or were you a more just kind of like doing your own thing, figuring out your own style on, your own way?
So I doodled a lot. I did a lot of drawing. I was very inspired. There was also a competition between me and my brother. I was always like, if you could do that, I can do that. And I'm going to try to do it better.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I think all siblings kind of have that.
Yeah. But I did, I always loved doing creative art things. And I would take all the classes, whatever I could, that was creatively challenging. To later in my life go to Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia,
Nice.
To art school there.
Now, did you study more contemporary art? Were there certain aspects of it that you focused more on, or were you just kind of getting the broad spectrum of things?
So they have foundation classes that you have to take. So it's your basics of life drawing and, boxes and squares and shading, et cetera, still lives. But I graduated there from the sequential art program, which is 4 comic books.
Nice.
And had a drawing minor, which focused on the figure drawing and faces, heads.
All the good things. The essentials when you're drawing a person.
All the good things. Yeah, I was like, these are important. I should learn these.
Now, are there any artists out there that have inspired you to create? Is there anybody that you've really looked at and thought like, wow, that's amazing. I would like to kind of go that route with it.
So this is always such an interesting question for me. I've definitely been dealing with this sort of question throughout being in this industry and even in art school. They tell you to be inspired by people, and there are definitely a lot of comic book artists I've been inspired by, but at the same token, I definitely didn't want to try and be those people. I wanted to be my own person. So even though, again, it's like Frank Miller, Jim Lee are stunning, it's like J. Scott Campbell. I mean, I could go on forever naming top names everyone knows. Terry Dodson, but besides that, it's just like, I didn't want to be the next Jim Lee. I didn't want to be the next Adam Hughes, even though I love their work. I want to be the next Banky. I want people to look at my work and be like, that's Banky.
Like, I know that anywhere. Anywhere.
Yes.
And I know there are a couple of pieces that I've seen of you floating around town, if it were, and I'm like, I know who that is. Before I read the name tag, I'm like, I know who that is. That's Banky. That's my girl.
Yeah. See, that's awesome. And I get that. They're like, no matter what medium or different kind of vibe that I have gone through and evolved in my art, I get that a lot. People are like, Banky, I knew that was your work. I knew it was your work before I even saw your signature. It's like, that's awesome.
You really do some amazing artwork, and you're such a fun personality in general as a person. You're very fun. You're very fun to watch. Like, I've kind of stood back and watched you do your caricature thing. You know what I mean? And you're fun to watch drawing. You're fun to just kind of interact with. You're such a fun person. I absolutely love it.
I'm just a giant goofball, I guess. I don't know.
And that's what I love, is you have to be. So we've got quite a few people in the chat giving some love. Jackie, Cheryl, James, JD. You got haunt scenes in there. Joannie. A couple people saying hey. Even giving some quick shameless shout outs to all you folks out there. So now I do need to ask. You draw all different types of things. I know you do like caricatures. I've seen you do some Star Wars stuff. I've seen you do some fairies and other things. What's your favorite thing to draw? What do you always go back to whenever you're sitting around? Maybe if you're doing something on your own that's not a commission piece.
Oh gosh. It's so funny. It's like, I get this question a lot. And
I'm glad I'm hitting all the same questions everybody else hits. That right there. Boom, baby.
No, it's good though, but because it's like it's always different for me.
Is it just like your mood? Like if you're in a certain mood, maybe you're gonna draw this or that.
Yeah. I'm just so lucky and fortunate to draw what I love. Like everything I get to do for people or for myself ends up being for everyone, because I love those things that, I guess the best way to put it is if you're not passionate about what you're creating and what you're doing, then there's no reason for anyone else to love it. And if you don't love it first, it's like loving thyself. No one else can love you if you don't love yourself. So it's like all my pieces, because people will too be like, what is your favorite? And it's like, no, they're all like my babies.
I can't pick just one.
You can't make me choose. How dare you? It's like I spent all this time with them. And of course there was also the stage of, oh God, that was so many years ago and we're done with that now.
I'm over that stage of my life and have moved on.
Be gone. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I will always absolutely adore and love Star Wars. I will always love drawing Star Wars. Star Wars comes very easy. I worked with Lucas and Pops doing sketch card illustrations for 5 years. Oh, wow. So, special place.
Let me fangirl out for a minute. I didn't know that. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How does something like that happen? Do you have to do you go to them and are like, hey, this is my awesomeness. Let me work with you. Or did they find you?
Kind of, actually. That it's so funny because everyone talks about getting in the industry and it happens for everyone differently. While I was still in art school, my parents asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I told them I wanted a trip to San Diego Comic-Con. I made friends with a lot of amazing artists in Artist Alley. Went back to finish school, whatever. So years later, I finished school and I ended up moving back home to start my career. Whatever that meant. Because, the economy was really kind of crappy then. And my parents were just like, come home so you can focus on what you went to school for. And we want to see you, succeed. So started off small and I started doing some one or two conventions. I made handmade sketchbooks.
Nice.
Of pop culture stuff. Turned out Star Wars Celebration was in town in Orlando. This is when I was living back home in Fort Myers, Cape Coral. And I picked up one of my friends who I met along the con circuit, my friend Juan, and we took a drive over for the day. We were going for the day. We're like, I was like, it's not that far. He lives in Tampa. So I went to Tampa. I picked him up. And we went to Orlando. And I ran into my artist friends who were there selling their work with the company. for Star Wars Celebration.
Nice.
And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I brought my sketchbooks to pass out to people. And I was like, yeah, I I finished school now. And I was like, I'm working on trying to get my name out there. And he was like, how long does this stuff take you? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm pretty fast. Not to like, brag or anything. And,
not to toot my horn, but I'm pretty quick.
Yeah. I was like, it doesn't take me long to do a drawing. But, I've dedicated my entire life to drawing, and I went to art school. So, I mean, I hope I'm kind of good at what I do. But yeah, so he was like, I should introduce you to so-and-so. He's like, you should go by their booth. And he's like, you know what? Scratch that. I'm going to introduce you personally.
Oh, yay.
So he was like, wait till my wife gets back, and then I'm going to take you over. And I was like, okay. So I went and met one of the art directors, and I showed him the sketchbook of my work, and he liked it. And he was like, can I keep this? I was like, absolutely. That's what it's for. And he's like, I'm going to be in touch, if I think a project comes up, da-da-da. And I was like, okay.
Now, at that point, were you just kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever, you're being nice, thanks? Or were you like, hell yeah, you're going to call me?
Sure. Right. Like, I was like, either way, it was a cool experience. I was like, if it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, whatever. I want to say it was maybe 2 months later, I got an email. Hey, really liked your stuff. Want to invite you to come and work on the set. Oh my God. I mean, I was very excited.
Oh, I can imagine. And what set was that for?
At my house, I was like, I'm going to draw Star Wars. Like, never did I think as a child.
This is where you would be at that point.
The thing that I loved, and now I'm drawing it. I'm drawing all my favorite people.
Now, do you still have a copy of that sketchbook that you gave out?
Oh, gosh. Probably not. So, like, what I do is I do limited runs of all those sketchbooks because I actually, but again, some of my super fans have collected all of them. I kind of got out of it because time crunch, for conventions and stuff, doing the hand-built sketchbooks. It would be it was a combination of like all the sketches and things like I kind of would do throughout the year. But, as all artists, we evolve and things happen. So, yeah, I got out of doing sketchbooks.
I can understand. I got JD chiming and saying that you sacrificed an Ewok, and that's how you ended up with Star Wars.
Oh, no.
So you did that for, you said how many years? 5 years?
I did that for 5 years. Yeah.
Wow. Now, what did you work on? Is it stuff that, like, we would have seen? Is it something that we could still find easily?
Probably. Well, so, like, I worked in the sketch card community as that being one of the top companies I worked with. I also worked for Hasbro and Transformers, Michael Bay, doing cards for this company, Brinigent. So that was probably actually my worst card experience with the company. Even though I did amazing cards, robots. It took me over a year to get paid for them.
Wow.
So that's, yeah. Well, I had to go through like 3 different approvals. I had to go through the card company approval. I had to go through Michael Bay's approval on the visuals to make sure they were standards. And then, of course, even Hasbro, because, it's
Hasbro.
Yeah. So that was rough. But, I've been lucky to work with a lot of great companies in the past. Even too, my friend Juan, I don't know if he still does, but he was working on Marvel cards a lot.
Nice.
And again, I did a couple cards with him. We would do some promo cards together. I did a lot of pinup sets. I love, everyone likes boobies.
Of course.
These are fun, vintage pinup-y pictures.
And normally if there's boobs in it, it's an automatic win.
Yeah, I mean, I just agree with that all around.
Yeah,
But
so let's take a look at some of the badassness that you have done. Give me 1 second. Let's pull this up here for you. Now I've got two pieces up here. They are absolutely beautiful, and I've had a couple of people that have seen them already have already said, like, this is very Frank Miller.
yeah. Well, the one on the right is definitely very Frank Miller. It is based off the styling of his stuff. That was a gift for a friend that I designed that piece based off her likes and her personality and her hair. But then adding some of the flares that are Frank Miller's work from Sin City into that piece, because she said she liked noir and horror and
that's a perfect combination.
So I was like, oh, this is the time for me to stretch my skills back in the old Frank Miller days.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I adore it. It's one of my favorites. Actually, I kind of cherry picked my favorites because I went through and I was pulling some of your artwork on top of some of the stuff that you sent me, and I was like, these are badass. So I had to show these ones. So the one on the right is very awesome. Definitely one of my favorites, as well as the one on the left there. Now, she's beautiful in her own way as well.
Yes. So that one I just did too, as we got into this wonderful lockdown quarantine. I'm trying to do a new series of pieces. I was rewatching True Blood and felt very inspired. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm glad you like it too.
So how long does it take you to do something like one of these ladies? What's your time frame on them? Is it something where you kind of start it and then you go back to it, or do you try to bang it out in one shot?
So the birthday gift, it took me about probably usually what happens is I do a rough sketching, and depending on how much energy I have, and I'm not even going to lie, with this whole weird new situation we're in right now, I have found sometimes my brain and mental health makes it hard for me to work. I try to push past that because I'm also I don't want to put sadness into my art.
Yeah, you want it to be happy and something that people look at and they're like, this is a wonderful thing. You want that. You want them to feel good, and you want to feel good about doing it as well, I'm imagining.
Yeah, exactly. It was no bad feelings. It's just like food. It's you don't want bad juju food, right? You want good stuff. You want happy feelings. But yeah, so that piece probably took me 2 days, 3 days. It was a smaller piece. I think that one was 8x8. Now the lady with the skull, she was I guess I should come up with a name for her, but I hadn't even thought about that. But yes, she's a bigger piece. She is 12x18.
Oh wow.
So she's a larger piece because there is more to that image besides that.
Yes. I couldn't fit it right.
It's all good.
It was a weird thing.
I'll have to go look at it.
Yes, go to Bankyart and find her on Facebook, and you go look at the beautiful images in all their full glory.
Because I also just like to also, if you follow me, I showcase all my stories while I'm working on art that I can show. Because I will say I did have a commission recently that I was there's no way I can show this onto social media. I will be in trouble.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, but I was but it's so great and everybody loves it. And I wish people would be cool about me sharing this, but I know they won't.
I would share the hell out of it. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm going to have to after send you the picture.
Yes, I'll share it and get banned for you.
Well, I mean,
let's take a look. Let me pop into let's pop into some of the other stuff you got here in 1 second. Now, this is one of your Star Wars pieces that you did, and this is a more recent one too, I believe.
Yes, this was based on a commission. A friend of mine, she came in a little bit of extra money, and she wanted to help support me because it is the times we're in. And she wasn't sure actually even what she wanted. And then we were just like having a conversation because I always try to like pull from people if they're not sure
Yeah.
what they want. I just kind of have a casual conversation with them and see what kind of, pops up out of their mind, out of their head, and what's going on with them right now, then and there. Because we all like to talk about the things we're really passionate about at the moment,
And especially if it's Star Wars, for God's sakes.
Hello. Well, and she was just saying, she's like, Cara doesn't get enough love. Like, everybody loves Baby Yoda, but she is, like, amazing. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. I think I just figured out what you need a commission of.
You need some Cara Dune in your life, because I think that we all do, to be fair. I love her. She's such a strong, powerful character.
So good. I've loved her forever. It's funny, she was in a movie, and this was like before the rumors of even like who was going to be Wonder Woman, and she just came out with her first debut film. What was it? I think it was called Haywire, and she's like an assassin. She's a badass assassin.
Nice.
And I made my friend go watch it with me. And I was like, she's also up possibly to be Wonder Woman. But either way, we're going to go watch this. And I'm really hoping it's going to be amazing. And it was. And
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that. But I know, like, she used to be, like, a mixed martial artist and all kinds of stuff. She's legit, like, badass.
Yeah, she was a fighter. She was, like, the brutal, I don't want to say this wrong, the cage fights and stuff. She did that. Yeah.
Now, for this one, what did you work in? Is this watercolor? Because it looks very
watercolors. Yeah. So mostly, like, my styling has become where it's like, what I do is I do a rough pencil outline, and then I tighten it up so that way when I go and start painting with the watercolor, I don't lose all my lines, but it also fades away some of the other stuff. That being said, then finishing touches, sometimes I might do a little bit of marker to make a few areas pop or sharpen, but most it's watercolor, and then I do inks, and I ink over everything and do a little bit of like white highlights where also needed. Yeah.
She's awesome. I love her.
Yeah, my friend, one request was that there was Banky Sky, because I got known for doing my sketch cards, and even I used to do live, like before I was under too many contracts where I couldn't show anything. I would do live cast where people watched me work, and everyone always would comment like how I make these beautiful Banky Skies. I do, like all the crazy skies. I'm like, welcome to Florida.
Yeah, like, pretty much.
Guys. We get these crazy skies here.
No, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I know you're working on a Baby Yoda too, right?
I did do a Baby Yoda. I did a Baby Yoda for someone, and he absolutely loved it. So that's great. And too, because he was like, I don't know if I should get it. And I'm like, well, I can't force you. This is your money, and
But do it and give it to me anyway.
Yeah. I was like, but I legit, like, I maybe did a jokey, like, Baby Yoda or whatever when I worked up at Disney, but I hadn't done anything legit at home because I just felt weird, because also, too, everyone jumping on it. Yeah. And saying Yodas, it's like, not that I'm hating on anyone. Everyone's done a beautiful job. But it's like, I want a purpose, I don't want to just be for...
You don't want to do it just to do it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get you, woman.
Yeah, but of course I want to drop you. The child.
Right? I love him. I will admit, like, I was like, I saw it and my heart just melted when I first saw him. I was like, damn it, Disney.
Okay. So, well, just to go down this rabbit hole for just 1 second.
Hold on, let's bring it back to your beautiful face here. Give me one hot second so that we can
Okay.
take a look at you while we go down the rabbit hole together.
Okay. So, Baby Yoda.
Yes.
The reason he is so popular and people love him, you're pulling on the heartstrings of every woman is like baby loins, right? Like they're like, oh, it's a baby. I must nurture it.
Yes.
I must take care of it. And then the other thing, the smart thing about its design is we are drawn to the beauty and things being symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
And he is perfectly symmetrical from both sides to the ears, that it's just like it. You don't lose.
No.
You win all the way around. It's like
they knocked it out of the park with him. And again, you know, I was like, I didn't want to be like, oh my God, it's so cute, but I was.
You
very,
can't,
like,
you cannot deny that it's like the perfect designed baby alien creature that's going to steal the hearts of millions. Oh, look.
I have one because
you have the doll.
I needed one in my life.
I actually really, who's coming out with it? Is that Hot Toys? Hot Toys has that like really high end one that like looks legit.
Oh, there's a couple of Sideshow Collectibles is doing one.
Sideshow.
It's like the $600 one, and it's like to scale. It's huge, and we were talking about it, and I was like, "Do I need a $600 and something Baby Yoda? Do we need it?" And we were like, on one hand, yes, because Star Wars. On the other hand, over $600. So we opted for this one, who was much cheaper. And then because my husband is amazing, got me one of the mechanical ones, but it doesn't come out till like November. So he got me this like to keep me busy.
Cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, but it's they knocked it out of the park with that. So, but I love your rendition of him. It's so cute. And if you guys haven't seen it, go to Bankyart, check out her Facebook. It's on there. Oh my God, all the adorables.
Thank you.
I love it.
I love it too. I do. I was like, it's like I'm basically begging people to get commissions for me. So I'm one, making money, and two, drawing all the things I already want to be doing, but now have a purpose for.
Well, I know my husband and I commissioned you for a piece, which I'm excited to see once it's finished.
Yes.
We commissioned some caricatures, and we actually, for those of you that don't know, got engaged in the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. So that's like our home space. So we did request her to do it in that fashion. So I'm very excited to see what you come up with for us.
Yes, I had an extra deadline that came up, but it is coming up next. So that will be shown on my feed soon. So any of you watching this and want to see the process of that, you'll get to
stalk
see
her.
Yeah, stalk me.
Let's
so
look
weird,
at some
right?
so just to give you
it's
guys
okay
an idea.
to say that kind of stuff now, where it's like, please, like, stalk me, follow me.
Stalk my art page. Let's clarify that. Stalk her art page, not her personal page.
Yeah.
Art page only, weirdos.
It's just like, but we don't even, it's so casual now having these kind of conversations. We're just like, please talk at me at this thing. Please come on and say something. Like, please watch me.
Just watch me do the things. It's okay. It's fine.
It's just totally consensual. It's okay.
I gave the okay. Now let's take a look at some of the caricatures that you have done, just so that people can get that idea of some of the rad things that you've got going. So here's a couple of them. I couldn't fit all three of them on the page that I wanted to, unfortunately. But I really love the fact that you have your one done as Rainbow Bright.
Yes.
That made my heart so happy.
So again, this is a good friend of mine, and she was just like, you know what? Like, there's such horrible times going on, and all I want to do is just like, I want to be a Rainbow Bright. Like, I want to like bring sunshine and rainbows to everybody. And I'm like, She's like, oh my God, can you make me as Rainbow Bright? And I'm like, yes. I sure can. And she's like, oh my God, I need that. I need that like right now. I'm like, well, we can make that happen.
Channeling that 80s character a little bit in there.
I mean, I definitely think that's my happy place. Like, I do feel like I was lucky growing up the age I am. It's like such an 80s, 90s kid.
Yes.
You know, growing up with Star Wars, growing up with Rainbow Bright, Gremlins, whatever, you know, it's like horror was the best.
All the good stuff back then in our time was not to knock things today, but I will say our generation of cartoons and horror is probably the best out there. Just saying.
Just saying.
So you guys can hit up Banky. Cheryl actually dropped the link down in the chat room. She's awesome. So it's Bankyart. It's facebook.com/Bankyart. You guys can commission your own beautiful caricatures. You can give her the style that perhaps you want and some detail in chat. Super, super easy to work with. Just all around awesome stuff. And I love the little family portrait you got going on the side too. Now, this the type of stuff that you did when you were working at Disney, right? You did the caricatures?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is the same stuff. I mean, again, just because I'm not at Disney right now doesn't mean I can't still do caricatures. Which again, like I'm gonna do the cool one for you. I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Excited.
It's gonna be cool. Yeah, it's like you can get yourself as just a face. A lot of people like to opt that option for their big families. Mm-hmm. I did a pretty cool one for a local friend for Father's Day, which I ended up doing 3 generations.
Oh, wow.
So it was like her father and then, you know, his/her sister and their couplings, like husband and other sister, and then their grandkids. So
wow.
It was like 3 different tiers of a family all done in a portrait caricature style, and she was like, "You absolutely loved it. It was the best Father's Day gift ever." And I was like, "Oh God, I'm so glad. That makes me so excited for you." and my wallet.
Right? It makes my wallet happy. Now, you used to also do, I know you did a lot of events too. You've done, I know Prometheus Esoterica used to do a lot of events out at Hourglass Brewery. So I know you used to do a lot of caricature drawings and stuff out there too. Are you still, not saying they're happening right now, but I mean in the future, once they start doing events like that again, are you going to be, you know, getting back out there and doing that type of thing where you're just kind of hanging out and people can come up to you face to face and go, "Paint me like one of your little French girls"?
Yes. You don't even know how close you saying that really is. I get that a lot, actually. Especially, well, Hourglass Brewing hosts the events.
Yes, they
do. Their space, and I'm very good friends with them. I've done art shows. I do art shows with them, as well as I curated an art show there last year, and was before this was all going to the crapper. Planning to curate another show, and I'm sure we will again eventually do that when the timing and things are not as crazy anymore.
Now, are they still open? Can you still go down there and get a drink?
You can. They do have the bar actually open now.
Okay.
You know, with the social distancing and everything. But for every, I would set up there once a month for the art openings and doing caricatures at Hourglass, besides the special events. You know, when people wanted, I provide it.
It's your servicing that you give them, lady. Now, I noticed you.
I have a wonderful lady. She just actually, she's hiring me to be at her wedding. So that'll be at the end of the year. So that's exciting.
That's really cool. So for like her guests and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. I see. That's
Yeah.
unique. I've never heard of somebody having an artist at their wedding just like doing their thing.
Yeah, yeah, it should be a good time.
That's
I'm looking forward
awesome.
to it. Yes.
So, see, things are starting to kind of slowly, things are happening out there, just not as quickly as we would like, unfortunately. But art always happens
Yes.
because
So
art
like
finds a way.
yeah, so like the art piece, again, that was inspired kind of by like True Blood, because again, besides doing pop culture, I'm trying to do more original based works. That's a big deal for me because eventually I want to do an anthology series, comic book series
Ooh,
of strong women. So short
nice.
stories. Yeah. Uh, but I'm going to have a art show at Little Indies. The date has been pushed back because there's
Things.
been, but yeah, so that should be happening in like a month or so, maybe. So
Okay.
you definitely should stay tuned for that. As long as the world doesn't shut down again.
Right? Then we'll be good to go. So hopefully everything
Yeah.
keeps, everything starts to get better and we can go back to having art shows and events and all the fun things that we used to do. And you can see some of Banky's work in person if you're not buying some via commission at present.
Yeah, just come oogle it in real life and see half of my face because it will be covered with a mask.
So from here up, you may recognize her.
Yes, I mean, I'm told I have pretty eyes, so
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like all you ladies, and I'm lumping you in clearly. All you ladies that have that on point eye makeup, like this is your legit time to shine. Like I can't draw a straight line on my face to save my life, and I look like a clown. So for all you ladies out there that rock that eye makeup, just milk it.
Oh man, all the colors. Actually, when I was working and just volunteering, helping at the Lucky Lure at their to-go window.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was like, all the most colorful eye makeup. Like, come to the window. Like,
Ooh,
come
my
get this
badass eye
from
makeup.
me. It's like, this is important.
Nah, I love it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, see,
I'm
you
gonna
can
take
go
your call.
see, buy you a beer, all the good things.
Yeah.
I got JD in there going, yeah, go buy her a
Really good
beer.
time. Yeah, see some old things, see some new things. It should be a really great time. They've actually they've been renovating as well because I did go for their last art reopening because when COVID shut it down, there was an art show happening, but it got cut short early.
Yeah.
So I did get a chance to see some of the new updates and stuff, and the space is really, they've opened it up. It's really beautiful. It's going to be super awesome, and it's going to be super awesome with my art in it at some point too soon.
Now, I know I know most places have closed down or they're very limited capacity, but there are some places that one can find your artwork in a variety of coffees,
Yes.
as it were.
Yes.
So we had Nick on last week. Speaking of which, shameless plug right there.
Wow, wow.
So I'm gonna pop over that to just give you guys Now Banky also does some work with our friends over at Coffee Shop of Horrors. Clearly, these are the two flavors that she's done. We've got the apple strudel, which is delicious,
So delicious.
and waffles and syrup is, it's. I can't say anything bad about any of their flavors because I really do like them all.
Oh my God. I agreed. And I hate to be like so biased, like again, like my babies. I'm like, these are my babies. And they taste so delicious. Like, Not that all the other flavors are delicious, but I'm like, dude, that waffles and syrup is straight up liquid breakfast.
It's so you're right, it is. You really don't need breakfast. Like, just that waffles and syrup coffee alone is phenomenal. So you did 2 different bags for them, and you can find them on, of course, coffeeshopofhorrors.com.
Yes.
Some people collect the bags and collect the artwork from those bags because it's different artists locally, which is phenomenal. And like you've got these 2 beautiful bags here, and God, that's got to be so cool to kind of to see that all the time, and to know that like those are flavors that people want to buy, not only because the artwork is badass, but it's good.
Yeah, it's such an honor, and I love them so much, and it's just it's so cool to be a part of such a cool company, and even more wild when being at like Spooky Empire with them, and them letting me set up and signing coffee bags for people. Okay.
I know, that's a whole other level there, lady.
I know, it's pretty awesome. It makes me feel real good.
Now, for these 2 pieces that you did with them, is this something that you were like, they came to you and they were like, hey, we have some flavors, can you do some artwork? Or were you like, hey, let's do something together? How did that happen? Because I know I had a couple of artist friends who, God, I'd love to work with them, and I know they like to have that fun relationship, knowing that you're an amazing person before they even get into that. But how did those flavors come about for you with them?
Again, because I'm a crazy art lady who's always doing art stuff, and I was at the time going to try and work on a piece for a Stranger Things art show. And I was like, everyone's going to draw 11. Everyone loves 11. So I was like, I'm going to draw the monster.
Nice. Good girl.
So I started doing sketches of the monster. And of course, I posted up on my social media, like always, like promote and story. And Roxana saw it, and she was like, hey,
I need this.
I'm like, hello. She's like, could you like add something like with waffles in this? And I was like, what? And
that's got to be the most random message you ever got. Hey, listen, I see you started this piece. Could you throw some waffles in there?
Yeah, like I was like, what? And she goes, I've always loved your work. She's like, I would love to work with you and have you do the waffles and syrup coffee bag. She's like, I want you to do the label. I was like, well, sweet. But I was like, but no. We're gonna, all right. I was like, we're going to go from scratch on this. We're not just going to take some other piece. So I was like, screw that art show.
I'm done with you. I've got coffee art.
Yeah, I'm like, we're going to work on this label now. I was like, now you got me thinking, because I was like, if I was going to draw 11, I was like, the thing that I liked was her levitating.
Yes.
The Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be funny, because of her obsession, and again, me being a Star Wars fan,
you had to throw in the Millennium Falcon waffle.
I could make the Millennium Falcon out of waffles and her levitating it, and then we could have the monster coming through the wall.
Which is perfect.
And she was like, yes, all of this, yes, perfect. And I was like, great, on it.
It's happening right now.
We're going to make this happen. Da, da, da. And then I got my own coffee cup.
I love the cup, by the way. And the side of it, I know she's like, show the side. It's mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Do they actually sell that mug?
So they were. I don't know if this was when they had the old shop.
Oh, the smaller brick and mortar?
So I don't know if they still do the mugs anymore, but
that's still so cool though.
Those when I got with them and I did the label, because again, that was probably like before October, whatever, right? And then did the show and stuff with them. But so then for Christmas, I made little gift bags of designs. Like I did coffee mugs with then the waffles and syrup beans in them. Like, and I gave those as gifts to all my family members.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So that's the first one. Let's look at the second one. The other one we have is the Snow White's Enchanted Apple Strudel one. How did that one come about?
So again, Roxana reached out to me because she was like, they did have somebody else who had a design, but they thought it was too close to, I think, some other something.
Okay.
Like from another comic that the guy had worked on. So she just wanted to do a revamp of it, including the apple. And so, and again, but still keep it kind of pin-up-y.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. I went somewhere in between, like, sexy, falling, sleeping, you know, Snow White, and, like, gold-plated evil queen. Like, I mean, I mean, I love it, too. I think it's also, too, like, being inspired. Again, I've done pinups for so long. And also, though, I really, really liked Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was also partly that inspiration of, like, she's just going to be like this, like, kind of gold-plated witchy goddess.
Oh, and
with
she
her
is.
silver, you know?
Oh, she totally is.
In our lives, you know?
I love her. I think she's amazing. Now, for those of you who are looking to get some art, whether it's as a gift or if it's for, you know, family, friends, whatever, here's just a quick, rough price list of where Banky starts. If you guys would like to get something done by her, you can reach out to her via the Facebook at Bankyart. Again, it's facebook.com/Bankyart. So just to give you guys an idea, and then, of course, you know, depending on what you want and details and all that, pricing, of course, is different. But this is kind of where she's at if you guys are thinking of getting something done. They're great gifts. Friends. You can even get, like, a gnarly one and send it to somebody you don't like, because why not?
I like your spiel there.
You don't just give art to those you love. You can also commission it for those that you don't love.
It was like there's something for everyone, you know. Maybe you just want to do some, you know, hey, don't forget about me, you jerk.
Right? Like, hey, listen, so I know we haven't talked in a while, and I still think you're a douchebag, but here's some artwork, and boom, done. Bankyart's got you covered.
Oh, I love it.
Instead of hate mail, it's like hate art.
I feel like that was like more of Morgan's style. I could see Morgan doing that.
Oh, she could totally do some hate art.
I love her so much. So, like, when she did the postcards, the Valentines, like the puke bags, she comes up with some genius stuff.
For those that don't know who Morgan is, we're talking about Lux Nova Studios. She's a fantastic artist as well, and she's, oh my god, she just go check her out. She's amazing.
One of my love.
I love it. And we love you too. And thank you for hanging out with us this evening and for talking some artwork and giving us a little history about you. And I had no idea you actually got to work on Star Wars. I mean, obviously I have a slight obsession. Just saying.
A little bit.
Little one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, it's so funny because when I got into the art industry and I started going to conventions and I became good friends with other professional comic book artists, and when I would see them at the shows and stuff, they're like, you really need to get some stuff under your belt. I was like, what? And I didn't really
Like,
understand.
what does that mean?
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand what that means, because you're so naive at the time, because you're like, look at me, I'm so proud, I went to art school. Like,
You're green.
And yeah. And then you start actually working on stuff, and then you hear someone go, I went to art school, and you're like, oh.
Now I get it.
I get it.
Damn
Right.
it. Now I get it.
Yeah. Because people go like, no, but what project are you working on? Like, what are you doing? And why are you still on sketch cards? Like, and then I go, I know. And so really, honestly, that's too just where I've been at with myself, personal growth, where I've been trying to build my name around Orlando, doing art shows, doing gallery events, doing bigger events, of course, and cons when I can, to kind of build up, this beautiful thing in my life that I can love besides loving pop culture, to then hopefully be coming out with this book, this anthology series, and then push that out when we can all safely go back to conventions again.
Yes. And then you can be like, look at my wares and buy them.
Look at my book. Well, it's been a dream of mine for quite a few years, because, we all have to have more aspirations than just drawing other people's characters, right? Like, as much as we love them, right. It's like, I want to have something to be like,
this is mine. This is from my head.
This is mine. This is my brain. This is my crazy brain, and I'm sharing it with you. You're welcome. It's also sorry, but not that sorry.
At all.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be crazy, kids. It's going to be crazy.
I love your work. I love that you've continued on this path of doing art, and that you're sharing it with everybody, and I love that you're looking to that next step into growing and expanding what you're doing. I think it's phenomenal. So thank you for sharing your creativeness with us.
Thank you. And honestly, thank you to everyone, even again in this time right now, that is being supportive, because I know we all are really in a rough spot. So it's like every little bit that I can do, and that people keep wanting to get stuff from me is just, it really is such a blessing. I am so lucky and fortunate to have such supportive friends and family that want to see me to continue to do this. Because without you guys, I couldn't do this.
Now get to work and stop fooling around. No.
I know, right?
No, we appreciate it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. And of course, once we get our commission from you, it's going all over the Facebook. So,
oh my goodness, it's going to be so awesome.
I'm so excited. I'm like a 5-year-old. I'm like, I can't wait.
It's so funny too, because again, like, every day, say I would work at Disney, I would be doing caricatures, and I'd be like, man, I can't wait till I have that day off where I can do like some comic book work. And now it's like I'm doing more of the comic book stuff, and it's like, oh man, I got this caricature coming up. That's gonna be so exciting, because I haven't done those in a minute. Like, that's gonna be so fun.
Now it's just kind of flipped. That whole thing is flipped. It's funny how that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good though. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited.
I mean, how do you go wrong? It's gonna be Haunted Mansion themed. What's
it's win-win,
favorite?
Really. So excited. So awesome. Can't wait.
I know. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. Well, and you guys just both have the best faces too. So it's just going to be it's going to be great. Ah! Is anyone hanging out? I just want to say to you, for everyone out there, I don't see any chat. But if you guys have questions or anything, if anyone's even in there.
Oh, yeah, there's folks in there. Let's get to the Q&A portion here real quick. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Banky? Let's pop.
They're all like crickets.
Pop that chat open real quick. Now, so here's my question. Are you drinking Stranger Brew in your Stranger Brew cup?
I'm totally not. Burp, burp, burp. No. No, I need to I need to still see the new location. I haven't been out to the new location.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I've seen all the pictures and stuff. But again, also with whatever everything that's going on, I'm trying to keep my circle and area where I'm being very small.
Yes, so are we. I understand.
It's like it's so scary. I know we're trying not to like talk too much
I
about this
know,
kind of
but
stuff.
it is. You're right. It
But
absolutely
it
is.
is what's happening right now, and it's like, man, I love and I miss everyone, and anyone who even tries to hug me, I'm like, back off. Like,
Throw that elbow, throw that
I
leg
do.
kick. I had a girlfriend of mine today ask about that. She's like, I have friends that want to hug me, and no. She's like, how do you tell them no? I'm like, when they come in, you step back and you just tell them like, no, like we're not hugging right now. I love you, but we're not hugging. Or you just do a quick gut kick. I mean, it's fine. They'll understand.
Yeah. It's like in the movie Friday, where it's just like, damn.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
I went all the way back.
No.
Like, it's like, where are you going? Get out of my space. Someone touches me, I bathe in
Purell
in
for days.
bacterial. I'm like, okay, it goes on all the surface. Thank you.
Yes. No, I'm very yeah, I'm the same. Like we haven't seen anybody. We haven't gone anywhere. We've stayed home. Like I think we went to Home Depot cuz we had to get toilet parts, but otherwise we stayed home. Cuz you got to poop.
Oh my gosh. Again, shout out to my parents. I like during this whole pandemic have not had to get toilet paper because my parents like to shop in bulk.
That's what we started doing.
And
BJ's baby.
They brought it up to me like before all this happened, and I'm still like on that. I'm like, I can't believe that.
Like I used to mock you, not anymore.
I'm so glad, thank you, that I have not the one less stressor.
Now I do have some questions in the chat. I've got Cheryl asking, when you're at a convention, do you do quick artwork? Do you like doodle to kind of keep you busy? Are you doing live commissions?
Yeah, so like that commission list that was up, that's my response basically to not having conventions right now. Those are con prices. So normally if you were to commission me, the prices actually would be higher.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make it a tad bit more affordable and to help me and help everybody else out.
Let me pop that price list up real quick here again for everybody while you're chatting about it.
Yeah, so it's like usually people when they come to shows will come up and request things while I'm hanging out. So they get these live quick sketches. Now here's the plus side, you're getting them from me from home, so I'm not actually dealing with people coming up to me every 5 minutes and asking also for a print while I'm drawing it and stuff. So you're even getting more focused time on these commissions and art pieces that you then will be able to enjoy from the comforts of your home.
Now, for these ones that you're doing, of course, from home, obviously, are you doing shipping? Are you doing any shipping specials on them? Are you including shipping in the pricing? Is that a separate fee? How is that normally working?
Yeah, so what I do, because it's like usually for the larger, like I do $10 to cover the shipping, insurance costs. I do tracking. So it's like, all the materials, because normally people get a good amount of stuff when they do commission me, which I'm very grateful. So there is that.
Rock on. Now Cheryl's asking, do you doodle on like the table cover or anything like that while you're sitting at a table at a convention?
I have known some friends who've done that, but I never got into that. But I do remember when I used to go to, say, like, Macaroni Grill, like in high school, I would doodle the crap out of it. Like, I'd be like, ew, give me those crayons. I'm going to draw all over this table while we're here today. And now I think it also is just a fact. Then it wasn't a job, and it's a job now. I even sometimes get, like, some of my bartender friends or whatever, they're like, Bankyart and ours, you never do any doodles or draw on your receipts or whatever. And I'm like,
I'm on break. Shut up.
Draw all the time, man. just here to chill out and take a break.
I'm not your performing monkey.
Yeah. Even I love the Falcon. I do a lot of art shows at the Falcon and even set up and do caricatures there in Thornton Park sometimes. Melissa's the best. Like, definitely shout out to them.
Aww.
And, they do mystery sketch theater. Of course, not right now, but they do cosplayers and models that come in, and it's like a 2-hour thing. And I just go to be a voyeur and watch. And everyone was like, Becky, are you going to draw today? And I'm like, no, this is my chance to watch all of you.
I'm here to judge you silently from my seat. You leave me alone.
Yes. While I drink my wine. I don't know if it's silent. I don't know if I know how to be silent.
It might be loud judging, but that's fine.
It's fine. They love me. They all love, and it's a way to be a part of the community and see other artists.
It's good to network.
It's important to surround yourself and see what other people are doing. Again, and that's why it's also important to go to art shows and experience and see what other people are creating and how they're expressing themselves.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I've got a couple of other people asking, what inspires your own personal projects? Like, how do you keep that creative fire burning?
Man, I think it just comes down to, it's always like having a passion project. Also, whenever I get inspired by something, I make notes. I have notes upon notes for everything, like pop culture wise or / what at some point I'd like to maybe possibly sketch out. It may later, I might decide like, oh, that was silly. Like that's not that great of an idea. But then it would be like, but then that other one that I wrote down, that's
the keeper.
Really, I think we're going to have to work on that. I was actually talking to another friend where it's also for me, a mental preparation that comes, before I even lay down anything on the paper.
Okay.
So it's like I'm building in my head this image, this idea, this concept. And, I joke it's like cooking where it's like marinating, right? Like
Yes.
You got to get all the right ingredients. And once your ingredients all come together, you then can put it out. Like you can sketch it out. You can do that. That's like one of the hard parts. Until it's like ready from up here to get out, it sometimes takes a minute. And then once I can get past the actual pencils, it's like, okay, now I can kind of sort of relax and get into the fun painting part and coloring. And then the icing on top is the inking and highlighting. It's like, ooh, just a little extra, little cilantro, like, yeah.
Add that little extra sprinkle on there.
Yeah, it's like, let's put a little Parmesan cheese.
Now I've got 2 more questions, and then I think I'm gonna wrap us up. This is a spicy one. So I've got someone asking, do you do any lewd pictures?
Oh, well.
Let's talk about the naughty bits.
Yes, by lewd. So when I first started off in this business, I thought I didn't have a line. I was like, I will draw anything. I will go. And then someone tried to ask me if I would draw 20 dicks, coming all over the dick. And I went, oh, well, okay.
I think I found my line.
I found my line. So I like to joke. I have no problem doing very tasteful, fun, Playboy-esque, or even, again, I did this commission. It's the PP drawing. it was, I was given three choices. I did Cerberus, the three-headed dog, as penis heads and ball sacks for
Okay.
feet.
It's classy. It's fine.
Hey, it was a lot of fun, you know? So it's like, it kind of depends. I don't know what because everyone's term of lewd is also different.
Right.
I do not mind drawing like sexy stuff, but yeah. You just have to message me and see how it goes, I guess.
See how you're feeling that day. Like, so, what's up with them dicks? What?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty funny because again, I can't show that. I want to share it so bad because it's really actually pretty great. But like, I will be banned from every social media platform in like 2 to 5 seconds because someone's going to be offended.
Yeah, because that's what you got to do.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess that would make me cool and popular, right?
Right, you got to get that edge in. Now, the last question we've got is: have you thought about becoming an art teacher or an instructor to share what you've learned through the years to a young Padawan, as it were?
Oh, wow. So I've definitely been approached before about trying to like teach kids, like do private classes or whatever. And I actually even have a friend who does teaching and has talked to me about possibly setting up and doing a class from her studio, teaching stuff. But again, my parents, of course, will always be like, "Oh, why'd you be an art teacher? You're so good with kids." And thanks, that's really sweet, but I want to live and breathe the art and have the adventures while I can.
Right.
I feel like maybe, when I'm older.
But right now is not that
move
time.
around so well. Then might be the time that I would consider teaching. But right now, it's like, while I am able to, I want to be able to do that now, and that only adds to the experiences to be able to pass along to other generations as well as those experiences and being out there and doing stuff. Yeah. So did I answer that question?
Yes. You did. At some point down the road, but we are not yet there.
We're not there.
Right, in a roundabout sort of way. Someday in the future, maybe, not anytime soon.
Yes. I was like, I should have been a politician.
I'm going to answer that question without answering that question. Hold on a minute.
That's how I also handle my relationships.
Hey now.
Hey!
All right, so again, we've been hanging out with Vanessa from Bankyart. Check her out. She's facebook.com/Bankyart. She is accepting commissions, so just shoot her a message. Let her know what you're looking to get, and she can hook you up for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure, and hopefully I wasn't too weird and awkward.
Listen, there's never too weird or too awkward. You're fine. Not in this company.
Hey.
Awesome. Well, just real quick before we go, I'm going to do a shameless plug because why not? So let's see. I don't know if you guys know or not, but we were actually nominated for Best of Orlando. I know, right? For Best Local Podcast, not on the radio. And I was like, holy shit, did this this really happen? So apparently it's a thing.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to show you guys real quick how to go. So it's Orlando Weekly. We're under local color. There we are, Horror Happenings with the Dead Girl. The little purple X there marks the spot. It's like we're treasure hunting. So take a moment of your time, head on over there and vote for us. We would appreciate it. I'm shocked we got a nomination, to be honest with you.
That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. So get your butts over there and vote for Horror Happenings with Dead Girl. High five. What?
I like how we just like did a virtual social distance high five.
Bam!
Yes.
For the win.
Nailed it.
That's how you do it. All right, girl. I appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you have not yet, make sure that you go like Bankyart. Make sure that you subscribe to Horror Happenings with the Dead Girl on YouTube, because this is going to be up on our channel this week. That'll go up probably next Tuesday. Try to spread it out a little bit. So yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And until next time, boys and girls, make sure that you keep it spooky.
Yeah.